Today we're going to graph parabolas written when the equation is in the form y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And this is found in section 3.1, and it's one of two ways to graph parabolas. To start with, we're going to use the example y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3. And the first thing that I do is I identify what a, b, and c are. In this case, a is equal to 1 because a is the coefficient in front of x squared, and that's a 1. B is the coefficient in front of the x, so that's going to be minus 4. And in this case, c is equal to 3. The first step after that is going to be to find the vertex in the parabola. And that's either going to be the lowest point of the parabola, if the parabola opens up, or the highest point of the parabola, if the parabola opens down. And you need to memorize a formula, and the formula is x is equal to minus b over 2a. So that's going to be, now you just plug in b and a, and that's a minus 4, and it's a 2 times 1. And minus 4, a negative is a positive, so that's going to be a positive 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2. So the x value of the vertex is 2. Now to find the y value, well, let's look at that. Y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3, and we know what x is, so to find y, we just plug it in, and that always works. If you have two variables, but you know the value of 1, to find the second, you just plug it in. So that's going to be 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. And 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8, but it's a minus times a positive. That's a negative 8 and a positive 3. And 4 minus 8 is minus 4 plus 3. That's going to be a minus 1. Let me make sure. I'm going to do it on my calculator real quick. 4 minus 8 plus 3 minus 1. Excellent. So the vertex is going to be the point 2, comma, minus 1. That's the vertex. Now, after we find the vertex, we're going to find the axis of symmetry. Now, the axis of symmetry works like a mirror. If the vertex is 2 minus 1, then the vertex, we're going to draw a dotted line, and the vertex is going to be like a mirror where one side of the parabola is identical to the other side, on the other side of that dotted line. And the axis of symmetry is always a vertical line. So the formula is going to be x equals something, and all you have to do is find out what the something is. And it turns out it's going to be whatever the x value of the vertex is. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Now at that point we can actually plot the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So let's draw a graph, and let this be your x-axis and this be your y-axis. And the vertex was, let's look and see what the vertex was. The vertex was 2 minus 1. So let's plot that. That's 1, 2, minus 1, and put a dot right there. That's the vertex. And then I'm going to draw a little dotted line in. And that's the axis of symmetry. And that's x is equal to 2. The vertex here is going to be 2 minus 1. So now your parabola now is going to either go like this or like that. We can actually tell because A is positive, it's going to open up. So your parabola is basically going to open up like this. And the only thing we don't know is how wide it is. And the way we figure out how wide it is we do a little table, a table of values. And we can do as many points as we'd like. Probably it's enough just to do 3. So I'll draw a little table. I'm going to put the vertex in the middle. And to keep straight up a little V there. And the x value is 2 and the y value is minus 1. Now what I can do is I can choose any other x's I wish. I should choose one that's larger than the vertex and one that's smaller. Let's choose, if we're going to do 2, let's choose 5. If we choose 5, then we plug 5 into the original equation. Let's look back and see what our original equation is. It's x squared minus 4x plus 3. So then you get 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. I'm sorry, 5 squared minus 4 times 5 plus 3. Be careful, I'm plugging the 5 in. And that's 5 squared is 25. And 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3. So you have 25 minus 20 plus 3. That's going to be 8. And I can graph that point. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get this just right. That's the point right there. And that's going to be a point that's on the parabola. Now we can choose another value more negative. It really helps us if we choose a number that's just as far away from the vertex as the 5. So 2 to 5 is a positive 3, so let's go backwards. Let's go from a 2, let's go back 3. If you go back 3, that's going to be a minus 1. And if you plug in a minus 1, you have minus 1 squared, minus 4 times minus 1 plus 3. Minus 1 squared is 1. Minus 4 minus 1, that's a positive 4 plus 3, that's 5, that's going to be 8 as well. And that's always going to work. If you choose a 1x value that's the same distance away from the vertex as the second x value, but in a negative direction, then the y's will be exactly the same. So let's graph that. That's a minus 1, and then 8 again, and that's going to be right there. And now we sketch in the parabola. The parabola is going to start off a little flat and get steeper. Don't have to be perfect, but do it as well as you can. And then this is here like that. And we have now graphed our first parabola. Yay.